Welcome back to the Westminster Center for Financial Wellness Business Certificate Series. In this lesson, we'll be going over some more break-even examples. First off, we're going to refresh what is break-even analysis and how to use it. Then we will be going over two examples to hopefully help clarify the significance and usefulness of break-even. Break-even analysis is a financial calculation that weighs the cost of a new business, service, or product against the unit sale price to determine at what point you break even. This reveals how many units you must sell to cover all costs. It is where your revenue is equal to your costs. As mentioned in the previous video, generally, this is conducted before starting a business to determine the amount of initial risk involved. Businesses also use break-even analysis on previously established products or services in the ways I have listed below. Next, we're going to go on to how to use it. To find your break-even point in dollars, you'll need to take your total fixed costs divided by your contribution margin divided by your selling price. To find your contribution margin, you'll need to take your selling price of product minus your variable costs. Finally, to find your break-even point in units, you'll need to take your total fixed costs divided by your selling price per unit minus your variable cost per unit, also known as your contribution margin. Moving on to example number 1. Say you own a clothing store and want to find your break-even point in units for your U of U t-shirts. Your total fixed costs for the store are $6,000. Variable costs per t-shirt are $25, and selling price per unit is $50. Remember, to find your break-even point in units, you'll need to take your total fixed costs divided by your selling price per unit minus your variable cost per unit, or contribution margin. As you can see, I've listed the information off to the side. Total fixed cost of $6,000, selling price of $50, and variable cost of $25, and when you plug that all in, you'll find that you need to sell 240 U of U tees to break even. If you want to find how much that is in dollars, you can simply multiply that 240 by the 50 to discover that you'll need to sell $12,000 worth of U of U tees to break even. Example number 2. Prince Inc. is currently in the production and sale of pharmaceuticals. They are looking into introducing a new substance, but they don't know if it will be sustainable due to their high fixed costs of maintaining their facility. The CEO wants to know how much revenue they must achieve in order to break even. Prince Pharmaceuticals Inc. has a total fixed cost of $30,000. They plan on selling their new drug, Kulo, for $950 per unit while maintaining a variable cost of $500 per unit. To find their break-even point in dollars, they'll need to take their total fixed costs divided by their contribution margin divided by their selling price. To find their contribution margin, they're going to take their selling price of $950 minus their variable cost of $500 to get a contribution margin of $450. Just like we did in the last slide, we found our contribution margin, $450, and then we plugged the rest in. So $30,000 total fixed costs, contribution margin of $450, divided by the sale price of $950, to get $63,333 worth of sales of Kulo to break even. Now, the CEO of Prince Inc. wants to find out how many units he'll need to sell to hit that $63,333 in sales. Given the same information, what is his break-even in units? Remember, break-even point in units is total fixed costs divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit, or contribution margin. Given the same information, when we plug it in, we'll find that we need to sell 66.667 or 67 units of Kulo to break even.
My name is Rick Haskell, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video as part of the Bill and Vieve Gore School of Business's Business Certificate Series. I'm a finance professor in the business school, where I'm also the director for the college's Center for Financial Wellness. The Business Certificate Series is offered through the Center as part of our outreach through the Gore School of Business. You can follow us on social media through Westminster's Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook pages. You can use the QR codes provided or simply go to these websites. Thank you.